Wah da da dang. Wah da 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 dang. Listen to my 9mm go bang. Sometimes you gotta let a clip off on these niggas, man. Motherfuckers be out here talking hella loose. They think they got the privilege of familiarity. Haha. I don't care how familiar I am with you. You could get it too. You know, sometimes we get poisoned with proximity. Yeah, like we get used to certain people around us, and because we got used to them, it became okay that that person's around us. And then somehow we forgot that person has issues with themselves. We decided not to even look at the fact they have issues with themselves. But you know that they do. And then once they get comfortable with you being comfortable. You get to a point where they start trying to pop your tires. They pictured you rolling and they couldn't handle that. And then that's some bitch ass shit right there. That the fact that you even let them in, that was your loss. You became their hospital. It was like you were their template for a while, and then they wanted to do something wrong to the master. You didn't even choose to be their master, but they were looking at some way you did something. They were liking it, and then they decided, okay, now it's time for me to take them down on some Scar Mufasa shit, right? A lot of people call them player haters, whatever you want to call it, man. I just think they energy suckers. And because y'all are cool, that happiness of being cool or that history of being cool, it doesn't translate into happiness. And it definitely don't translate into productivity. So if you got some energy suckers, some suckers of energy in your world, shake them loose. Kick they caboose. Give them the noose. Just fuck them. And I know all of us have had, some people around us, and it might not even be like you're around them all the time, but y'all have open lines of communication. Open lines of communication that they might often abuse, right? They might think that it's cool for them just to call you and have a silly ass one-way conversation where they just they look at it as that's friendship, right? But really, that one-way conversation that they're having is them dominating some shit that you are granting them, right? You're giving them your time or you're sharing your time, and they just come with their opinion on some shit. They don't hear nothing but themselves, and they just yap about what the fuck they got going on. And then until y'all talk again, there's no other conversation. That person ain't never gave you shit. That person's never helped you. That person never showed up. But then they feel like because you have this proximity, this poisonous proximity, they get to ease off in this place and pretend like they're greater than because y'all are cool and you won't slap them. Hey, that's some dangerous acting they doing. You're playing with loaded dice. And I think that sometimes being, and it's not being, well, no, let me say this. I was about to say it's not being too friendly. Sometimes being too nice can fuck you over. And that's what I'm going to call toxic positivity. Toxic positivity is being nice. Too nice. Not too kind, but too nice. There's a difference. And with that, I welcome you to episode 37 of Sorry for My Language. Get funky. I like to thank you. I like to thank you. I like to thank my moms. You know. Yeah, so welcome to Sorry for My Language. This is episode 37, and this is my show. I'm your host, Grindstone. Where I sit up here and give you insight into my insight. And sometimes I give you foresight. And sometimes I'm just giving you vision. And sometimes this is very cathartic where I just give myself to you. It's hard for me to define myself, so I won't even try that. I'll leave that up for your interpretation. But this show is sponsored by Grindstone Universal. Go to grindstoneuniversal.com. I'm going to be checking to see how y'all run it up. Go to grindstoneuniversal.com. Get on the email list. I promise you. I promise you. I got a banging ass summer lineup. Oh my gosh. What I have coming out. And I've been sitting on this idea for might be fooling with 4 years now, but I finally get to give birth to this idea on grindstoneuniversal.com. Just been a little busy. A little is an understatement. But this is sponsored by grindstoneuniversal.com. It's a place where progress is made and truth is revealed. It's also the epitome of urban luxury. Yes, that's right. For everybody in the D.C. area, D.C., Maryland, Virginia, I would love for you all on April 19th to make room in your schedule. My sis, Pinky Killicorn, has a show at Koi Lounge on K Street, April 19th. It's an early one. It's from 5 to 9 p.m. All right, we're pre-gaming for 420. And you know around here, 420 be a thing. Yes, indeed. Indeed and yes. So, man, I got so much trouble on my mind. Mm-hmm. As a matter of fact, if you look up, if you go on Apple, I was going to say Apple Music, go on any of the streaming platforms, look up Grindstone, and look for a song called Issue With Me. Issue With Me. Issue With Me. That's me and Pinky Killicorn, and that kind of circles the wagons on what I'm here to talk to you about today. Toxic positivity. Issue with me. You know, the hook is fake motherfuckers got an issue with me. They got an issue with me. Fake motherfuckers got an issue with me. They got an issue with me. Hold up. Let me see. I might have a beat for this shit. I can't tell them nothing. I can't tell them nothing. I can't. Fake motherfuckers got an issue with me. Fake motherfuckers got an issue with me. I can't tell them nothing. So I gotta go and show them, shake them off like a wet dog. Give them bones and tombstones. Heavy is the head that wears the jewel crown, but heavy is the head when you knock these fools down. Fake motherfuckers got an issue with me. They got an issue with me. Fake motherfuckers got an issue with me. They got an issue with me. Fake motherfuckers got an issue with me. Hey. I don't even know how we got on this. But it's good. It's very good. Cut them off at the pass. Whoop a fake sucker's ass. Whew. Sometimes I get carried away and stuff. But anyway, yeah, if you go on any streaming service, me and Pinky Killicorn have a song called Issue With Me. And it's off my album, The Child. But you know, the hook is fake motherfuckers got an issue with me. They got an issue with me. Fake motherfuckers got an issue with me. They got an issue with me. In 96, I read the ISIS papers. In 98, I bought a food saver. In 2000, I bought a house. I can't stop now. It's a matter of public safety. You could learn to love or die trying to hate me. What's my motherfucking name? It's a shame. Rats ain't getting killed no more. It's like Fred Hampton died in vain. I'm taking this pain to an acupuncture pinpoint. And punks get your bucks up, gold to Bitcoin. My lady look like Apollonia, just learn and listen. You fuck with a bitch who works zirconia. We different. Fake motherfuckers got an issue with me. Hey, they got an issue with me. But this ain't a musical situation that I'm here to discuss. So, man, I'm just a little heated to the point of being lightweight flustered. Mustard on that beat, hoe. Nah, I got a disturbing call from somebody today. And this motherfucker asked me not to do something that I'm not even fucking doing or trying to do. But they tried to take control of the conversation and the narrative and the whole thing as if they're stopping me from doing something. I'm thinking like, bitch ass joke, nigga. I'm not even trying to do anything close to what you talking about. And I'm gonna talk like I'm trying to dance around it. And I don't need to dance around it. So I make music. This dude I know, who I have known for hella long, he has hella records, but he don't make music. He makes some shit that he kind of calls music, but I would not classify it as music. It's just different sounds. It's like the scribble scrabble of sounds. Now, from that scribble scrabble, if it's quality sounds that he's picking from, there's some good stuff in there that if you knead it and mess with it for a minute, you could squeeze a good beat up out of it. I've done it. But his shit is like too convoluted to really spend hella time on it. And to be honest, I don't think he has the ability to time beats in order to even make a beat, even if the fucking check, the recognition, the soul gratification was there. I just don't think he has the ability to do that, which is fine, right? That's not what he does for a living. It's a hobby, whatever. So while he up here hobbying, don't have one fucking album out. Okay. Elon Musk gonna build condos on Mars for this nigga put out an album. He calls me and tells me not to use any of his music. Now, mind you, he don't have any music out. He sends me this scribble scrabble musical clay, right? In which like a digger of records and a somebody who listens to music, you might try to piece some shit together. It's like it would be like if he sent me a jigsaw puzzle of 4 or 5 different jigsaws, some of them missing pieces, and a little bit of some checkers and some Legos, and was like, "Look what I've done. Try to make something out of it." And then next thing you know, I fucked around and make something out of that weird ass combination of things. But I don't spend hella time doing it because it's too messy. It's too difficult to try to make something out of what he sends. And so a lot of times he says, I'm just sharing sounds. I don't even understand what the fuck that means, but whatever, you sharing sounds, that's cool. That means I could totally fucking ignore it. But if you send enough of them bitches, I'm like, okay, nigga, what are you doing? Why are you sending me all? What are you doing? For what? And on several occasions, he said, look, I would like to give you this to see what you could do with it. Several occasions. Um, this has been with other people in the room. This has been on the phone. This is just like whatever. A nigga who don't do nothing needs somebody with motion, right? Yeah. So who he called? Ghostbusters. So tonight he called me and he was like, I really don't want you to use any of my music. I don't want you to repurpose my music. I'm trying to figure out what I could do with it. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Then he doubles back. Now I can tell the nigga been drinking, right? And so for those of y'all who be drinking and then want to say what you not saying sober, that might fuck around and get your ass whooped. Okay. Or you might grant yourself the absence of that person who you trying to address. But you not breaking down nothing reasonable, right? Part of it is you was too chicken hearted to speak that shit without some buzz. And this has happened. This has happened in a few different situations. And you know what? I'm not even saying I'm exempt. Maybe at some point in my life, at a point I don't remember, I sparked a conversation with somebody drunk that I wasn't willing to have with them sober. I don't remember this instance, but I just can't say that I'm exempt. But I don't move like that now. I think that's horrifying. Don't be that way. So anyway, he wants me to use he does not want me to use any of his music. Now the nigga acting like he Michael Jackson or fucking Quincy Jones. Don't use any of my samples. Or Ramsey Lewis or some shit. Don't sample my music. Nigga, you don't even have any music. First of all, you don't have shit, Joker. But okay, I'm not gonna use your shit. Then he says, because for a long time I've been meaning to have this conversation, and I've seen that you have albums out, and I don't see my name in the credits on shit you used. I was like, yeah, nigga, they in the credits. Just check them. I'm on Spotify. I look in the credits. I don't see the shit. Yeah, because Spotify don't list everything the way it's entered. Go to Apple Music and check up on it. Most people are on Spotify, so then this drunk shit kicks in. All this long story, a whole lot less long, because that was even a little too detailed. People pop up out of place when they get comfortable with you and they really start yapping. And fortunately for me, I don't have anybody else to please except myself, my maker, and that's it. I don't have to do anything except be honorable to those two existences. And that means that people are not exempt from me putting hands on them. Now, I might not put hands on somebody, but that's not out of the equation. Like, if I feel like it, I will. I'm not, most of the time, is putting hands on somebody is a draft pick of options that I decide to maintain. And niggas don't be thinking they in the draft. You know what I'm saying? So he come out his face talking hella wild. And and it just really, I can't say he disappointed me, but I disappointed myself by talking to this joker. Right. And a lot of the times we'll get really comfortable. You might have family members, you might have girlfriends, boyfriends, anybody, somebody who get real comfortable and they just start talking loose, right? And it's in a way where they popping off. And you could tell that it doesn't come from the interaction between you and them. It comes from the interaction between them and themselves. And that's why they just wildly disrespectful. And that's probably how they talk to themselves. But then when they start talking to you like that, the problem is you've let them. Right. So they got away with that shit for so long that they could just start doing this. Now, the way I've been living, I've really been honoring myself. And when I say honor myself, I've really been doing my best to be my best in several different ways. And what that has required from me is a certain degree of isolation. And not isolation where I'm trying to isolate myself, but it's just I'm so busy doing what I have to do that I really don't have time to mix it up with this event over there or that thing over there, that thing over there, unless I feel like it's given to what I'm doing. So so through this winter and the early part of this spring, a whole lot of my shit has just been me versus me with the things that I'm doing. And it ain't no weird shit, but I find time to blend with others when the time is appropriate, but it's not no knee jerk reaction to just be blending. You can't just be boom, boom, Belinda with everybody on call, you know? A lot of the times you have to take it back to the labs and do what you have to do, knowing that that's where your greatest fortune lies. But with that, I become hyper aware of other people's energy, their intention, and their words, right? So I notice it when somebody's intent is to dominate, but I know that, but I know they're not a dominant motherfucker because they're not gonna dominate in confrontation. They're gonna try to dominate on the slick. That'll make them feel better about them. That'll let them know that they're alive. And they probably try to do that because they've been grabbing their ankles all day at whatever cubicle they're in, and they can't be who they are. So they have to go find somebody else to be that person with. And here I am being somebody's familiar place. And then they want to bring that shit to me, not knowing that my place of isolation is like the fucking the wolf out there. Yeah, like nigga, I might be isolated, but don't take me as like the incel hermit. No, nigga, I'm like the wolf. I isolate myself amongst the wild things. So I might get at you a little differently, or I might just ignore you because I really don't have time to do that. But what I'm saying is, people who play these dumb games might make a motherfucker go dumb. And I really encourage you to remove yourself from these fucking talkers. And I don't know if this is the Stephen A effect, you know, because he's like a bitch ass nigga who has gotten a lot of shine from mass media, from social media, and then you have these other pundits and stuff who want to invite people like him on the show. And you just got all this busterism on all these different platforms where people are talking hella loose and it seems to be okay. And then that leaked off into the real world where people could pick up the phone and be just talking hella loose because they familiar. This ain't no debate show. I'm not here to debate with you. And really, you might have just talked your way out of the privilege of fucking with me because I don't have no run for you after you just act like a asshole. And I know that you come to the table netting nothing. People ain't out here talking about what you have done for them. People ain't out here talking about um, how masterfully you've done anything. You're not an asset. You're hand to mouth at best at what the fuck you do for yourself in your own life. So I'm not missing out on your friendship. I'm not missing out on your kinship. And I'm saying this is how, you know, you should see it if you have a do nothing ass person who thinks they could just pop off at you because y'all are close. It's happiness over history. Don't let that proximity become toxic and don't become, this is where I was earlier with it. Don't become somebody who gives off toxic positivity. And what I mean by that is misleading people by thinking it's all good all the time. And it's not. And that's the difference between nice and kind. Nice is an act. Nice is something that you do as a formality, but nice ain't really attached to your heart. Kind is. Kind is attached to your heart. Nice is what you do. Oh, good afternoon. Good morning, Mary. How you doing, Bill? That's nice. But a nice person be like, good morning, Bill. Man, fuck Bill. That's nice, right? Kind is like, good morning, Bill. Man, that guy Bill's great. You know, like nice, kind is in your heart. Nice is that bullshit. And so you could be a purveyor of toxic positivity by trying to be nice all the time, trying to let your ego create this character where you give a certain output to everybody, but that output isn't attached to anything honest. Don't do that because there's some kickback with that. And I think I might have fucked around and misled some people about who I am by giving off toxic positivity. I think I've been letting them know it's not fuck you when it really is fuck you. Right. And I don't feel like I need to be coming off with that type of energy towards people. But then when the people with history with you start kind of line stepping, I think they got it kind of fucked up. And it's probably because you've been giving the wrong message, like it's okay to line step. And so, we really have to get that corrected in our behavior. Our output has to become a little more concise when we delivering what we're delivering to people. We might be giving them the wrong messaging, and then we fuck around and get mad at them when they were just receiving the messaging we were giving. We were letting them know it's cool to come close to my domain, but it ain't, especially with your bullshit, especially when every time you be drinking, you come with foolishness. And then you want to act like tomorrow, today didn't happen, but nigga, today you was in the red. Tomorrow it ain't a green light. Tomorrow we not cool. Because I remember what happened today, which would be tomorrow's yesterday. See what I'm saying? But anyway, all that being said, um, toxic positivity is when you mislead people, having them think that you're the nicest guy in the world, and you've only done that for a show. You're not kind. You're just nice because that painted on clown smile. The clown got the smile painted on too, right? You just giving them a clown smile. And that clown smile might have people get a little too close. Like people think they could play with the clown in the circus, but that motherfucker usually is up there giving off some toxic positivity. He's really there because his life is fucking crazy. You might have kind clowns. All right. Shout out to the clown population. Can't say I knew a circus clown in my life, but um, I'm sure they have a range of emotions. And I'm sure they're probably doing that because at the end of the day they get paid to do it. So I wouldn't take them for just eternally happy people, but that is a toxic positivity, and people probably think they could play with the clown. So shout out to the scary clowns. Yeah, the scary clowns are the ones who have had it up to here, like the Joker, and then they like, you know what? I got to lop a head off. Heads got to get lopped off because people be playing with me too much, right? So yeah, if you have a friend, family member, an associate of any kind who just feels like they could waste your time and get on bullshit with you, I advise you to re-register that immediately. Don't even let it fester. Don't let it build up. I know sometimes it's easier to let it be like, man, buddy tripping. But you got to let buddy trip after you let them know where that line is. Because buddy going to keep on tripping and they going to build up this little confidence. And they could be crazy, but they not silly. Like, see, crazy, like you might have a mental thing going on, but you ain't silly enough to really keep doing it after you know where that line is. So just let them know, draw the line. And it's always gonna be happiness over history on mine. Like, fuck the history. We not gonna create new history, and I'm a risk having my blood boil a little bit, knowing that I should just full hand, heel of the hand, slap your ass because you be popping off a little in the red. But then I'm just like, yeah, but that's so and so. I got to accept that from so and so. You don't have to. You got to have a better system with your firewall. You can't just let fake motherfuckers who have an issue with you get to showing up and showing out and talking all crazy. Let them know they're not welcome by giving them your absence after you've shown their ass the line. So I really think I let this one dude get a little too far with me showing him where the line is. But this goofy ass nigga crossed that shit. And I know that at some point this year, if everybody's healthy, I'm gonna see him, and he gonna act like today didn't happen. And then at that point, it's up to me to draw the line or just totally ignore this nigga like he's a goddamn ghost. But if we're in the same proximity, me ignoring him is gonna be an act, and I'm not gonna do it. And I'm not gonna slap him because I've learned how to control myself a little bit better than that. But I might say something to make him want to buck, in which point, I can't say I won't. I can't say I won't use my mitts to warm it up a little bit. And then more constructive ways to carry it, but I don't always. Hey, I'm in the process of growing up. I'm not all the way there yet, okay? I'm in the process. So if you're in your process, a way that you could better manage that, this is me talking to you and me talking to me. A way that you could better manage that is to go ahead and give them your silence, especially if it's not no absolute reason for y'all to be talking to one another. Man, get him fools your silence, man. They deserve it. Because, after how much fight you got in you, you can't just be slapping motherfuckers. And you can't just be yelling at people. And you can't be arguing with fools all the time. So like once you realize how much of that you have or how little of that you have, how little time you have for that, we not gonna be doing this every day. So we gonna leave busters to cluster, you know? Y'all form your little group and do the things that y'all do with your unproductive ass. Oh man. And the truth about it is, I was about to have a nice, boring night this evening, which is, by the way, a luxury to have a boring evening. To have an evening full of excitement, that's one thing. But to know that you're safe in your home and to know that, you know, you have the option of drinking a little water, reading your book, catching up on some work, stretching, making your house smell good, like whatever it is, whatever your thing is, on the boring tip, I've learned to see that the boring nights are blessings too. Shout out to the boring nights. Yeah. Yeah, man. So I just really had to come here and breathe, man, because the busterism was at an all-time high in my real life. And I swear I just be minding my business, but I think God will show you a person or a person's behavior to let you know if you're beyond that or not. And if you're not beyond it, it'll get presented again. So maybe, well, now this is my moment of woosah. Maybe, just maybe he was there with that bullshit to show me something about myself. So maybe that trait that he showed, I exhibit somewhere in my personality. Oh, now we get into it in real time right now. Maybe what he did in terms of being insecure, as if I was taking something from him that I was not interested in at all. Maybe I am insecure in that way and thinking somebody's trying to take something from me at times. And maybe it's not even a item, but maybe I feel somebody's trying to take a piece of me that I've yet to fully work on and they want to use it for something before I figure myself out. Maybe I have that out for others in the way he had that out for me. That's something for me to think about. But I usually think when somebody gets me heated, first I'm mad at them, and then I wanna see if they were my teacher or not. Like maybe that was a person who was brought here to hold up a billboard of bullshit just so I could see how I act towards others. I don't know. Or maybe maybe he was just acting like a complete bitch. It's one of the two. I don't know. I don't know. But whenever somebody gets totally under your skin, you have to look like what did that person present? What was it that you felt about what they presented? Do you have that same presentation in somebody else's perception? And if you do, what do you do to rid yourself of that trait? And that's how you could look at somebody who gives you adversity or gives you like just who just grinds your gears. That's how you could look at them as your teacher. And you know, I don't think that nigga was here to teach me though. I think what he was here to teach me was that I hold on to people too long. I'll be letting people go. I let people get away with ridiculous social incompetence when they're really not on my level. And I can say that confidently because I work on my level. You know, I evaluate myself. I fuck with other people. I really do. Not like I'm no master or no shit. Not to say that I'm incompetent either, but like, I spiritually work on myself. And so just to see some nigga just bumbling in with the bullshit, um, you know, he's not on my level. And maybe he was there to show me that I need to tighten up on who I let in and who I don't let in to my whole sphere, into my even phone. Like nigga, you don't have to answer every phone call. You know, a lot of these niggas is potential spam. And you need to treat some of them phone calls like spam risk. Cause you a spam risk. So yeah, man. I appreciate y'all for paying attention to my therapy. Y'all a good change. I appreciate y'all, man. So anyway, I know I cussed it up, but I love it up here too. I'm sorry for my language. This is episode 37. Why did I say episode? This is episode 37. Hey, 3 plus 7 equals 10. And you complete the cipher with that, right? Uh, Shout out to episode 37. Sorry for my language. Go to grindstoneuniversal.com. And don't be a victim of toxic positivity. Woo! Be kind, not nice. Peace.